A very good morning to you all. Welcome to the trading cage. This is where we beat the gold. How are you guys doing today? You doing all right? So gold did some good things during the night here in Brazil overnight in the Asian market. It has broken through the highest market price. Okay. So we are just beating records and records every single day. Yesterday was a holiday in United States. That's why the market was a bit slow yesterday. Didn't want to move so much, but we managed to still study it quite well. There was a couple of things. I didn't really trade yesterday, to tell you the truth. Not on gold. It was a way too ugly to try to do anything on it. So I left it alone. I hope that you guys had a very good night and let's get into it. I'm just clearing this stuff out. I actually just made a trade this morning until the trigger candle on the 15 minutes there. So that was a small trade, but was a good one. Oh, look at the price goes. People are just liquidating at the moment. All right. Let's start our analysis as we do every single day. We started on our daily chart. We'll mark the charts up and then we'll see if the gold gives us any opportunities of trades. If it does, we'll take it. If it doesn't, we'll let it go until the opening of the US market, okay? So let's zoom into this. Candle 12. So yesterday's price broke through the record price, the highest price of gold. So we have support on that arrow there that we put through. That's a good support. Now, today's candle opened up, did a small test down, and then just broke through record price again. Not much to see here on the daily chart at the moment. So let me just see if this is accurate. Okay. All right. So what's happening in the macroeconomy is that there's a lot of talk about what's happening in Europe with Greenland. There's also a lot to be said about what's happening in Iran and between Israel. So there are quite a lot of stuff going on, and people are not feeling very safe at the moment. So what that does to the market is that when stuff like that happens, people tend to run into the gold. Since Trump started all these tariffs in the beginning, I think it was about April last year, the gold just took off, right? Before usually, I mean, gold was going up, but it was going up steady. And then all of a sudden, it just takes off. Reason for that is that people want to feel safe, and there's no other asset safer than gold, okay, around the world. Not only gold, but also silver. A lot of people like to trade silver, but gold's the more expensive one. So whoever has gold is holding on to it. At the moment, people don't want to let it go, as we have a lot of uncertainty in the market as it is. Can't really blame them. So if you got a lot of assets and stuff, I can't blame people for trying to take good care of it. All right. So let me go over here to the 1 hour chart. So we have support in this region here. It's the same support from yesterday. Then what else are we going to be able to find? We have another region of support. The price hasn't come back to it, which is this one here. All right. So you can see that candle 2, 3, 8, 9, 20, 22 until it was a good resistance here until candle 26 actually closed above it. So what would be good to see is that price coming down here to test that region should let us know that that's a good support. Okay, but just keep it in mind. It might turn into a very strong support when price comes down. We do have another one here down below on the region of 4643. As oh, look at that. 15-minute candle just popped right up into that trade candle. It might renew that high price now. Hmm. Wait for it. Okay, so over here we've got candle 32 hit the record price, okay, the highest price. Candle 33 tried to come down. Candle 34 once again tried to go back up and finalize that pullback. It looks like it did renew that pullback. So I have to let me increase this just to make sure. Yeah, it has completed its obligations as a pullback because candle 34 actually renewed the maximum high of candle 33, so the pullback's done. And candle 35 is once again trying to go there. So if it doesn't manage to renew the highest price will have to come down to this region, okay? So it has already done, got some of this inefficiency here from candle 31, but it hasn't been enough so far. We can see that price is trying to come back to get a bit more of liquidity, and then it tries to go back up. But if it can't be that, price is gonna have to come down here and possibly down below candle 30. Okay, that there is a lot of inefficiency here and a lot of selling contracts or selling lots around here through that inefficiency. Not only that, we have stops in that same region below candle 32. So there's a lot of selling offers there. All right. Cool. We got stops. Actually, the chart's generating liquidity on the top of candle 32. So we got stops there of the buyers, of course, of the sellers. Sorry, the sellers, but stops there. And then if the price grabs that liquidity, might just continue on its way up, or it might grab it and then flick it down to come and grab this inefficiency here, test that support that hasn't been tested yet. On the last couple of weeks, price is leaving quite a lot of regions without testing it, and it's leaving a lot of inefficiency behind as well, which it might come back to it later on. You know, price doesn't just go up forever. It needs to come back and grab that liquidity and then it moves back up. We don't know when it will make that retracement, but normally we know that it will do it. My microphone's it's a bit far away today, so sorry. I hope this is better for you guys, if you can hear me better. Sorry about that. Okay, So we are here at the 15-minute chart. On the 15-minute chart, we can actually see that we are above the region of 50%. We had a rejection here of this 50%. That's when I actually made a small trade up to the trigger of candle 43 just before. And that paid up. That was really good. And now the market's trying to come down because candle 42 didn't manage to break through the trigger candle 43. So once it closes like that, most likely price will have to come back and grab some more liquidity to go back up, all right? So we can see that quite clearly on the 5-minute chart, where candles didn't manage to break through and then just kept on coming down a little bit. So at the moment, what can we say? We have got that 50% region there. We also have this 50% region here, okay? The inefficiency that was on candle 51, it's pretty much taken by candle 53. We also have trigger candle 49. That candle 53, as soon as it touched it, it moved right back up again. So this might be a good support for the moment. Now, if it breaks through it, then we know we have this one here. Hang on 1 second. All right. Cool. Candle 53 is still trying to come back down, but it gets, every time it touches the trigger candle, it finds support, which is quite good, but it did close below candles 52's low. So candle 54 is still has got to go and test that trigger candle again. Right. So we've got Trigger candle number 49, and we have got trigger candle number 39, okay, which held the price in here pretty much 3 times, that candle 39. So we know that this is a good support. We also know that we have support down below on trigger candle 31. So the price is mapped. We know exactly where it needs to go. 54 already paid its debt of testing again that trigger candle. Price might come up from there now or not. Okay, we'll need to see if it does manage to break that support. On the 1 minute, we do have a trend line here. Where price is trying to come down. And this is the non-support we have, which is pretty much that line there on that trigger candle. Or relevant stopping point. Hello guys, welcome to our channel. It's good to have you here. So here in our channel, just once again, we do live reading of the market every single day. Okay. When the market designs a good trade, we are going to be taking those trades. If it doesn't, if it's too clogged up because of the time, this is prior to the US opening. So the volatility is a bit lower than what we would like to be trading. But sometimes at this time, between 9 and 10, the market actually moves in a good way, which we can take good trades out of it, okay? So if that happens, we are going to be trading. If it doesn't, we will be doing the analysis, which is pretty much a really good live lesson. So you can see exactly what I'm looking at on the charts every day. So I look at all the details together with you guys and we go through, and that's how I decide if I'm getting into a trade or not. So you pretty much have a live professional trader teaching you and telling you exactly where price is going, where he would like to trade, and what he would like to the chart to do before he gets into a trade, which is really, really rare to get, okay? Not many people will have the balls to do this live. We do have a lot of traders that they make analysis after the day has closed. That's easy. If you're doing on a live chart, it's something totally different. So candle 54 here did test that trigger candle once again. On 1 minute, we are our trend line was just broken, but still is not showing us that it has made a change in the structure. Still pretty much the same structure. It could be just a pullback to the minimals. There's a lot um, of buyers in this structure here. Okay, so I wouldn't be looking to sell really until it actually changes the structure. I would prefer to buy than sell. Okay, so we are below that 50%, but we are above this one. And that there is a 3 candle pattern, but the 1 minute is not making me very confident about that trade. going up. Let's wait for it. So we have a 3 candle pattern here on the 50%. Okay, so it's testing that trigger candle again, that low. Let's see if price found support. It has cleared out the inefficiency here, so there's no inefficiency there. Price hasn't been able to break through. I'm gonna put a, come on, what are you doing? It's finding quite a bit of resistance to the left on the 1 minute. It hasn't been able to break through it. I wanted to see candle 802 close in the high region here before I actually put an order through, because this here is a resistant region here. We got 1 minute 28 to go. There we go. A lot of sellers pushing that price. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna get into that trade. It is a 3 candle pattern, but it's a bit off on the 1 minute. As you can see, it goes up, but then it gets pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down, pushed down. So it's not really telling me that there's enough, that that's a actual rejection of that 50%. You know, normally when you see rejections, you see a very strong move up and not a lot of push down. So this could be just them trying to say, look, we can't really go low, so we're going to go high, but it's not really strong enough to go as high as we would like to get a good take profit. So in this case, for me, it's just better not to do anything unless the next candle actually comes down here, test that zone again, test that whole thing, maybe renew that low and comes back up. Candle 160 here on our 5-minute chart, close above its 50%. So does candle 161, candle 162 came here, tested that trigger candle there. But there's a lot of resistance in that region right there. So it might not be worth it. When we're talking about real money, we gotta be very, very careful, okay? We can't really be taking just guesses. We've gotta see what the market's doing, what the chart is showing us that the price is doing. And if the price is strong enough to go in the direction that you're willing to go, then yes, we get into that trade. If the chart is a bit confused and I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know if this is the direction that I should take because I already renewed that record price, it makes it a bit funny. So it's not really good for us to be taking. Oh, look at that. See, for us to be taking risk in some of those regions. Okay, so now 162 did what I wanted it to do. So if it comes back from there, then we know that we have a really good buy because it already grabbed that liquidity. In the beginning of our live, I did say on the hour chart that if the candles didn't manage to renew that high, it would have to come back to that trigger candle number 49, and that's exactly what the price did. We do have now the support of candle 39, and here I'll just draw these up on the 15-minute chart. So we had this support here, which price has just renewed it, and we have this support here, which price hasn't gotten to it yet. So we got these two. On the 1 minute, candle 806 grabbed that liquidity that we had down below. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And then candle 807 is just grabbing out that inefficiency that was left by candle 806. So did that quite quick, actually. Let's see if 808 just comes back down or if it has found that support. Candle 54 will need to close above the highest point of candle 49. If it continues on going down, if it closes below, that means that most likely price will have to come back to the lower regions, okay? Brazilian markets on a boom. We've got dollar going up and EBOB is coming down quite hard. So candle 162 came back to that trigger candle 151. Candle 808 closed below the 50% of the last movement. On 62 is also clearing all the inefficiency here from candle 152. 163 is testing up. Not enough for us to have a good target here at the support region. So you got 200 points, where our stop would be basically 600 points. So I'm not going to take that scalp. But doesn't mean that doesn't have a scalp in there, okay? One good thing that could have happened to show that this price is going to break through that support is if candle 163 would have come and tested the lowest point of all these candles here. So if it tested that region of 50%, that would be a great indication that this price would be coming down and possibly having enough force to break through that support. But he didn't do that. He just went there and paid the scalp. He did it the other way around. If it did test prior to paying the scalp, it would probably be better and it would have grabbed the inefficiency here, at least half of it on candle 62. Also would have tested all these trigger candles here, and then that would tell you, look, I already grabbed an efficiency here. I'm coming down, and I might be strong enough to break that support, which is trigger candle number 39. So when all those readings align, then you know, look, I'm getting to a trade that it has a percentage of about 90% of paying me my risk. So that's a good trade to get into. When it just goes straight down, it means that there are people pushing the price low, okay? Or there are people liquidating positions, but it doesn't tell you that it's going to be able to break support on that movement. It just tells you, look, I've got to go there, I'm going, I still have people selling, so here we go. But it doesn't give you that confidence that you need. I hope that you guys understood what I'm saying about this. So now we have candle 163 in a regional support. I'm gonna take this out. Oh, really? You have to come back that hard? I was gonna say it may leave us a three candle pattern here, but it's already gone. Testing the region, the resistance that I wanted to test before. If it breaks through that resistance, we know that it's gonna have to come back to the trigger candle 52, okay? So if it breaks through the next candle on the 15 minutes here, test down, you will have a high possibility that this price might be coming up to that trigger candle 52. Let's see what candle 163 will do. It didn't manage to break through that resistance. So on the 1 minute here, we have this region now, which is the one that's testing right now. The short here has been broken, does not exist. Okay, left as a doji. We do not trade on a doji because I have said this throughout the other lives and I'm gonna repeat it. If the market doesn't know where it's going, right? So if we're having quite a big fight in between sellers and buyers, why would you get on a trade if there is an indecision in the market? That's not a very good decision to make, right? If they're undecided, who are you to say, look, it's going to go up, it's going to go down? I mean, if you're putting your money at risk, there are other ways to put money at risk um, instead of just trading just after a doji. Good morning, Ailton. So thank you. Thanks, guys, for being here. So on the 1 minute here, it has confirmed a pullback to the minimums. Okay. So for now, we will wait. Got nothing to do here. we are getting into the support zone. We're actually on the support zone right now. We want to see a rejection of that support before we start trading, or either that, or we want to see it break through, and then we know that it's gonna come to grab that liquidity. Now, we've got some confluences here, okay? So price came through, broke it, renew record price, and then it came down to the support, went to try to renew that price once again, didn't manage to break through the trigger candle number 130 or candle 43 here on the 15-minute chart. So we know for sure that if price didn't break through here, if it couldn't break through, oh, hand, come on. If it couldn't break through here, it would have to come down lower, right? So we know that price has to come back and test support. Now, if this support is not strong enough, what will happen is most likely, because we are on an uptrend, price will come down to this support here. We'll grab all this liquidity and then we'll try to come back up again because we are in a high trend, right? So this is what it do. It tries to go back up. It grabs liquidity in a certain region. It gets here and then it doesn't have enough liquidity to go up. It will have to come down lower before it actually moves up again. So we know that it might come down lower. We're not going to sell now because we have support to the left. So it's not a good region to sell. It's a good region to buy because buyers want to buy cheaper and sell at a higher price. But if it breaks through support, then we know that it's going to try to grab that liquidity below. Then we can get into, even though it's a short trade, because you don't want to be selling in a high trend, okay? It's a short trade, but we can get a good trade from here to about just below candle 117 here. That's a good movement. Or you can go into the next support, which is 4716. But this is what we are looking for on a high trend for a trade. Now, if it rejects the support here, then price might try once again to come up. Now, if it doesn't break through this trigger candle or doesn't renew this last high, we will know for sure that the next wave through, because price moves in waves, next wave through will come down here. And that's a certainty, okay? But all we gotta do is wait for the chart to show us what it wants to do. Now, candle 164 closed in a way that it didn't show me that price would come back up because it closed in a way below the 50% here region. So just confirming once again, pull back to the minimals. 165 is going to try to break that resistance now. But I didn't like the way that 164 closed. If it had closed up here in these in the maximum region of it, and then candle 165 had tested down, we could have a small trade into the maximum of 162, maximum of the body, okay? Look at all the trigger candles here on the 1 minute, which could hold that price if you try to hold it for too long. Oh, come on. Yep. On the 15-minute, price is coming up once again, just above that trigger candle. So you might design a rejection of this region. Price might be designing it. Check this. Price came back above the 50% region. Candle H20 didn't manage to break through the structure here. Okay, just renewed it. Candle H21 hasn't managed to continue the movement. Okay, and candle H22 is testing down at the moment. It still shows us that we're still on a downtrend, not an uptrend here on the micro movement. We need to see price starting to break through above the structure that it has created. Oh, Thiago, but look at the size of that candle 165. Yes, but on the 1 minute, it hasn't broken the structure yet. And if it closes this way, oh, there we go. So candle H22 actually broke through the structure, but it hasn't closed above candle H20 or candle H21, which means it's not breaking through the last candles. So now we have this new Fibo here, which once again confirms a pullback to the minimals, because candle 8 through 2, 3 closed below the 50% region. Candle 824 is testing the trigger candles now. It did fail this pullback here because they had created a pullback to the minimals. It fails the pullback and now confirms the pullback once again. Let's see if it will continue to come down. If candle 165 closes this way, do we have a sell? No, we don't, because we got this support region here. So we need to see price closing below the support region inside of trigger candle 39 before we can actually sell. Okay. Once again, price is finding support. So candle 55 closed as a doji here. on the 15-minute region. So let's wait for the chart to decide where it wants to go and confirm that to us. So now we have a confirmed pullback to the high. So it's actually a failed deep pullback to the minimals. Sorry guys, sometimes when I look to the left or look up is because I am in other trades, okay, in other assets. So I just look at it a little quite quickly. Just closed a trade on Evolve at the moment, which paid quite well while we're waiting for the gold to do what we needed to do to see if we can get into a trade on it as well. Okay. So I do make analysis of various assets at the same time. Okay, so candle 166 hasn't didn't break through maximum highs here. We can see that there's a lot of there's a big fight in between, a lot of pressure from sellers trying to push the price down, but we do have the support from the buyers here who doesn't want to let this price come down. It's quite a big fight here because we got candle 163 closed as a doji, candle 164, then tries to bring the price back up, but didn't manage to. Candle 165 tries the support again, then comes back up to this resistance region here, and then it goes back there to try to break through, grabs all that liquidity that we would have in there. Price gets pushed down. Now candle 166 goes up again to the trigger candle region here on the 1 minute. It has failed that pullback to the minimals once again, but then it didn't continue, it didn't confirm the pullback for to the highs. So we're in a really, really difficult region here where price is actually trying to come down, but support, it's too strong, so it's not letting it go down. So let's wait for the market to do something good for us. Candle 167 once again, it's actually candle 830, goes back to that trigger candle H1, Didn't manage to break through. So now candle 831 is trying to come back down. One thing about this movement here, that it makes your feeling go a bit weird, right? Because you see candles here, they are not managing to break through any of the candles below, but price is going up, right? So I have a price coming up, but nobody is closing above any other candles to the left. So this might be just the market trying to create more liquidity here down below. It might be just inducing buyers to buy to come and stop them here. Okay. So we need more liquidity down below on the regional support. So we go induce buyers. We'll see that buyers will see that the price is going up slowly, and then they buy, and then they get stopped down here. We might see a movement, something like one of these candles here appear really shortly here, breaking through the support. Okay, if it continues to um, create candles like this, we might see that really soon. Candle 56 is still here below the trigger candle 49. 167 is again in the region of resistance. Hello, how are you, bud? So candle 833 just closed inside of trigger candle 821. Now, what we have here to the left is this resistance here. We see all these trigger candles here. We want to see price closing above them. It still hasn't so far. Okay, so candle 167 closed in a really good region. Just got into the resistance there. Candle 168 tested the support. Let me just see one thing here. Where is it? Let me see if we are below or above the 50% region. We are just below. I'm gonna wait for that price to close above that. I was actually gonna buy there, but I'm gonna wait. Patience pays the trader. So all we need is a little bit of patience. All right, so price once again is trying to break through that structure. So now it's designing a change of character because we have a higher low, a higher high. It did break through this structure here where we had the last higher low. So now I have a higher high, a lower high. If it breaks through that structure there, it will show us that change of structure that we want to see. Both today is playing really well, while the gold is just sideways, not doing much. I should do some really good trades on both today and on the dollar. Oh, that's really good. Cool. So candle 168 is trying to close above candle 167. Oh, hi, how can I say your name? Sir Varies. Okay, so we have the strategy is this. We know that the market moves in between maximum low highs and 50%, right? 50% is always a region of stability. And so we operate price stability and imbalance of the price. Imbalance of the price always pays better. So since we have the region of 50%, we will have always support in those regions or resistance. So what we try to do is when price is above 50%, it shows us that it's on a high structure. And we have our stopping points, our relevant stopping points, which are the trigger candles, right? Trigger candles will be always around the highs and the lows. And you see that every time price touches it, it actually pushes through. So it stops the price has come back, and then grabs a bit more liquidity and then comes down. So right now, price got into that region of 50% and then just came down a bit to correct itself. Let's see what it's going to do. So price right now came and tested that trigger candle 164, and then you can see the rejection of price. It went back up. Let's see if it managed to break through. Now, this could have been a pullback into the 50, just a correction into the 50% region. If price breaks through the support, then we'll come to grab that liquidity and it will have to come back down here to grab all of that inefficiency on the 1 hour chart that left in this region. But we do need to see price breaking through this support here before we can get into a trade. Not too many things on the chart, but these are just some lines that we make analysis every day. So this is just one of the analysis that I like to give the guys what prices, what price will possibly do. What are we waiting for the price to do? So these lines here is basically support. I put some support and resistance lines there. These things are where the liquidity is. This is an inefficiency on the hour chart that's in there. So we know that if price comes back, breaks that support, it will be coming down here to grab all that liquidity. Okay. So we actually don't have indicators. We don't have a lot of indicators on the chart at all. We don't work with them. It's a clear chart apart from a couple lines that I like to draw so I can teach the guys on what I'm looking at. This line here is the maximum high, the record high for the gold at the moment. We have 50% of the day down here. So not a lot of lines. I just keep on drawing up on the chart so everybody can understand what's happening. But you're welcome to come and watch every day, and you see exactly what I'm drawing up on the charts and what are the regions, what we're looking at, what we're looking for before we get into the trades. You can see how our reading, candle per candle reading, really works. Okay. And then you can see all of those for yourself. It's a really, really good strategy that we work on. Guys, now it's 10 o'clock. Our lives goes from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock Brazilian time every day. I do have to go and prep myself for the opening of the American market. Oh, look at that. Candle 169 might be doing exactly what we told it will do, but problem we still have 1 minute to go. If it closes below there and this price tests up, it's gonna have to come down here. The stop's a bit high at the moment. One thing that we do not work with is selling at market. Okay, so we always position our sell stop or our buy stop after a price test. Let's see if this price is going to test the resistance there once again. But I need candle 169 to close below the support. If price goes back up to the support, then we do not have a sell at all. We can say that this was just the price grabbing liquidity. See, it can't sell there. Closed above support. And this is how we protect ourselves against those trades that are not going to pay. Sometimes we miss some, but then it saves us on all the other ones, okay? And what we want to do is save our capital and get into good trades that will pay so we can be calm about all of those trades instead of just clicking every single time the price does something. Well, guys, I do have to go. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us today. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, and share this with your friends and ask them to share it with their friends. This is a new project, so we started about 15 days now. So we started 15 days ago. So it's been awesome so far. Okay, I'm really enjoying this, and we'll be doing this for the many years to come. I am studying a bit more on how to talk to you guys and transmit everything that I need to transmit to you every day. So things will only get better from now on. All right. Thank you very much. This has been the Trading Cage, and this is where we beat the gold.